Hey guys, Braden here from In the Loop. We are at Kings Island and I'm going to enter back into the park here and I'm going to give you guys some fun facts around the park, that what I know and what I've researched and have found out about the park that you guys would be interested to hear. So let's go inside. Alright, we're going to start here at the fountains at the front of Kings Island. The matching fountain set can obviously be found at Kings Dominion, but that's not going to be the fun fact. The fun fact is going to be Kings Island. Where did that name come from? And kind of where did Kings Island start? Here we go. Let's try to run through this as quick as possible. In the early 60s, Coney Island, which was located 10 miles east of Cincinnati, was having problems with flooding, a lot of flooding. So they considered moving the park to somewhere where it wouldn't flood. And they weren't quite sure if they wanted to do that. But a famous actor named Fez Parker, who you might know as Davy Crockett, was planning on opening up a theme park in North Kentucky. The scary, kind of the idea that he was going to open that up would be good competition against them, and it kind of solidified the idea of, you know what, we probably should move this thing. So a little later, Taft Broadcasting Company bought Coney Island, and they decided to move it, so they bought this property here. At the time was about 1,600 acres. It's actually currently now a little over 700 acres, and is now here. But where did the name Kings Island come from? It's kind of strange, right? There's no real island here, so why would they call it that? Well, it's actually had a public competition of what to name the park. And Kings Island was the front runner and the favorite of the pick. Island being from Coney Island, and King coming from King Mills County, which is in North Ohio. I believe I'm getting that right. So it was kind of a mixture of the both, and it was actually a publicly voted name. All right, now I'm over here at the Eiffel Tower, the iconic Eiffel Tower of Kings Island and Kings Dominion, which most of you know is a third scale of the actual Eiffel Tower in Paris, France. It was built by Intamin, but that's not your fact. The strange fact, it's kind of a spooky and grim fact. There's actually a long legend of a guy named Tower Johnny. And Tower Johnny, back in 1983 at grad night, had climbed the tower and had got himself into the shaft area at the top. And there's two kind of stories. One is that he fell and that he died. And the other is that he was decapitated by the cables. And that Tower Johnny can actually be found haunting the tower and Beast. But why Beast? It's kind of strange. You know, the accident unfortunately happened here. Why Beast? Well, the rumor is, and actually it's a little more than a rumor, I've done my digging and it's pretty true, that there are cables that are buried and stored at the back of Beast. So his ghost is known to follow where the cables have been buried or stored at that time. And the ghost of Tower Johnny haunts the park. All right, I'm over here at Vortex. When Vortex opened in 1987, it featured the world's tallest standing coaster and the longest drop of a full circuited roller coaster in the world. It also was the very first coaster to feature 6 inversions. But the cool fun fact is, there actually used to be a coaster that sat here before, a very important roller coaster. In 1981, the Bat opened, which was built by Aerodynamics and was the world's first suspending roller coaster. And unfortunately, it was riddled with problems from 1981 to about 1983. And they tried everything they could to keep that thing running, and it just was too many problems. So they ended up taking it out. And what did that be, about 4 years later, they ended up opening the Vortex in its place. Okay, I'm over here at the Racer. Well, the Racer is actually one of the original rides that opened with Kings Island in 1972. But there's a little bit more interesting information behind the Racer. So roller coasters reached a golden era in 1930s. After the 1930s, the demand for roller coasters really died and no one was really riding them anymore. Well, the owner of Phillips Toboggan Company, John Allen, retired in 1968, feeling that roller coasters had kind of came to an end and there was no demand. Well, they ended up approaching him, and the owner was, let's see, the Taft Broadcasting Company approached John at the IAAPA convention in 1970 and asked him if he'd want to come out of retirement because they had this great idea for a coaster, which was the Racer. And once the Racer opened with the park in 1972, it sparked a new boom of roller coasters. If you look in the 1970s, more amusement parks and roller coasters were built. It's a huge important era in our amusement parks, and we can thank the racer for all that. Back here at the Beast, we're looking at where there used to be water, and there used to be a canoe ride that went around. There was a large pond here, and you can see a lot of it in the Brady Bunch movie. Now we're going to talk a little bit more about the Beast itself. In 1979, the Beast opened, and those brakes have always been there. And it is to make sure the longevity of the ride stays there for a long time. It's just too hard on that old wood. And another really cool fact is 90% of the wood is all original. All original since 1979. That's so cool. All right, now finally the tunnel. The tunnel actually used to be 2 tunnels. And you can see here there's actually a connector that connects that front tunnel that you just saw to the back tunnel that you now exit out of. So I thought that'd be a pretty cool fun fact to share with you guys. Anyhow, this is Braden from In the Loop. Thank you guys for watching. Remember to check out all our videos from all across the country. Thanks for subscribing. See you next time.